Hello, it's Jason Thompson of Emergency Products and Research. Back with you from Mohegan Casino Resort in Connecticut. Back on the Mustang traction splint again. This time I want to show you an application in a non-traditional fashion. So one of the challenges that we had with the Mustang was we wanted to accomplish traction with below the knee amputation. So I'm going to show you a way to deal with that. So bear with me. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try and do an abbreviated version so you don't have to sit through the whole process again. But so bear with me if I'm repeating steps that you just saw. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to assume that my patient has a partial amputation. Let's say mid-lower leg, tib fib. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and control that life threat right now through the use of a tourniquet. So I'm going to actually use like a cat right now, but obviously you can use anything. So we're going to use a cat. We're going to go ahead and get this thing set up. And so I'm assuming that my simulation is that my partial amputation is across the middle of the leg. So you can see now I have the tourniquet in place. I'm not going to twist it down because I don't want to do damage to my simulator. But I hope you understand the use of tourniquets. So we're going to have that in position there. So now I want to go ahead and I've done further evaluation and I've determined that I have a mid-shaft femur fracture. So I'm going to go ahead and do that setup. So what I do is take my traction harness, my anchor harness. I'm going to slide that up over my foot. I'm going to slide that above the tourniquet. And again, I'm going to anchor this down. I prefer to have this over the leg. So I'm going to leave this a little loose right now until I get my pole in place. I'm going to take my traction harness. And I'm going to put the traction harness against. I'm going to extend this out all the way. I'm going to put this up here. I'm going to take this around my thigh. I'm going to take this up under the knee. I'm going to walk this up. All right. And again, I'm just assuming that I've already done PMS, but I should have said that. So I apologize. So we've established PMS, pulse, motor, and sensory. But as we know, we have a partial amputation, so we have to just keep that in mind. So now I have again my pouch. My pouch goes towards the inside here, and my other little junction, as I call it, where the pole goes through, is right here. All right, so I've got this midline. I've got my anchor assembly down here. So my anchor harness, my traction harness are both in place. I'm going to assemble my pole sections. All right. Okay, so that's together. I'm going to feed this up through here. Right, and then I'm going to put this into that pouch up there, right? So it's in my pouch. I'm going to take this, extend that out, make sure it stays midline. Now, when I get down here, I'm going to reassess my length. I'm going to go ahead and decrease this by 1. I'm going to drop that, loosen this up a little bit more. I'm going to drop that into my pouch. And you can tell I have my two sections. So get those into my pouch. Hopefully you can see that. So they're both there in that pouch. Both sections of the poles folded over, right? So that's there. Now once those are in place, I'm going to hold those in place there, and I'm going to cinch this down. Again, I like this part going up over the extremity. It makes it a lot easier. Okay, so now I come up here. I've got my pole tab, my pole loop here. So I got my finger loop, and I'm going to start sunging that down. This is nice and tight. Everything's in place. Take my quick cravats. All three of these guys here. I'm going to slide these up under the knee, right? Okay, so you can see that they're up under the knee now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it, I'm going to walk them up, put this up into the upper thigh, and again I'm going to tie these off so that they're over the pole, not on the skin. Take my knee, and I go over my knee, and again I want to make sure this is nice and snug against the pole. Take my last one while I have it, and let's go ahead and put that on as well. Okay, so again, over my pole, not over my skin. Okay, so now you can see the application is that I have my tourniquet, I've got my anchor harness, I've got my traction harness, everything's engaged, pole section's in place. I've got 3 cravats. I've got my where my fracture is nice and open for viewing and reassessment. Packaging with cold packs or ice or whatever it is you have to manage swelling. My tourniquet has managed my hemorrhage, and so I'm keeping an eye on that. So now I'm going to go ahead and pull traction. Now we'll do it the same way. I just essentially I'm going to come up over the leg. Now in this case I have a partial amputation, so I have to be pretty creative about that. So I can come up on this, or I can at least pull from the side. Either way, whatever is easier for you. The whole goal is just making sure that your leg stays in line. So hyperextend here so you can see, so again, let's look at the leg. Let me get a marker here. Okay, so go ahead and do my marker like I did last time, and I'm going to place that up against the where the leg goes up in to the pelvic section of the trainer. I have again a 200-pound patient simulation here, so I need to accomplish 15 pounds of traction. Turn my trainer on, let that cycle through, and once that's done, we'll start. Okay, so got my finger in my finger loop. I'm guiding the leg with my legs, and I'm going to start to pull traction here. So if you watch the separation, the distance between the quick cravat introducer and the lip here, you can actually see the reduction occur. There you go. And there's my alert saying that I've achieved my 15 pounds of traction. Okay, now what's important about this again is understanding that we've just achieved 15 pounds of traction with this. We've reduced the femur. Again, we talk about this. So this is the bone, right? So we know this is the one end of the bone right here, and it's kind of fixed on the leg. And what we do is take the other end of the bone, and it's down here. So as we put traction on there, we're taking this end here, which is fixed, and this end here, and we're pulling down, which is down here, right? And we're taking that and we're pulling traction so that the bone is reducing, so that displaced femur fracture has now been reduced. And then we're going to stabilize and immobilize in this fashion. So it's nothing to be intimidated about. We know that more traction is better than less traction, as long as you don't overdo traction. But it's something not to be afraid of. Again, it's a matter of practice and skill. It's not something to be intimidated about, and I can say that over and over again. We've learned so much about traction and how effective it is, but at the same time, how much our users can be intimidated by the practice. And that's simply just because they don't have time, nor have taken time to get themselves oriented and familiar with the actual practice of applying traction. So it's a muscle memory issue. As soon as you do it, you will have the confidence to be able to treat these things effectively. And I highly recommend, again, that you consider the use of the simulated traction splint trainer. It is a great tool and a fantastic asset for multiple different reasons. So anyway, again, it's Jason Thompson with Emergency Products and Research, coming to you again from Mohegan Sun Casino and Resort. And if you have any questions, contact me at jasont@epandr.com. You can also reach me in the office at 330-673-5003 or direct at 610-357-3226. Thank you very much.